Welcome to this video. This is the Gentleman's Pixel Club. We're a retro gaming channel. This is the ZX Touch. This is a retro gaming device that allows you to play brilliant Sinclair Spectrum games, and it gives me great pleasure to talk you through the latest firmware V1.10. I hope you enjoy the contents of this video, and thank you and a shout out to the creators of the ZX Touch for allowing me to be part of this journey. So in front of me is my ZX Touch. It is turned off at the moment. The first thing we need to do is to upgrade the firmware. And you've got two ways of doing this. You can do it from the server they have using the Wi-Fi connection through the FUT, the firmware upgrade tool, or you can do it through the SD card with a file on the SD card through the FUT, the firmware upgrade tool. We're going to do it from the SD card. So to do this, you basically hold down all the buttons and you hold down the power on button, and it lies to you. It lies to you. It says firmware not found on SD card, but I assure you the firmware is on the SD card. So we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom here, and there we go. Click on the firmware, and off we go. So there you go, build time the 31st of the 1st 2024 at 17:49. This video is for version V1.10 of the firmware. V1.09 is actually V1.10. It just hasn't got the V1.10 file name yet because I'm helping them test. I'm supporting them and doing this. And cards on the table, everything that I'm doing, I'm not being paid for. This device here, I paid for out my own money at Crash 2023. And you know what? I do not regret a single penny of it. It's brought me so many hours of pleasure. And the support I'm giving them by doing this little video, but also the feedback that I've given on some of the early beta versions as well, is all done from my love of this product and my wanting to see this product succeed, and anything I can do to contribute to it is absolutely worth my time. So the firmware upgrade tool, the most important thing to do is ensure that your battery is at least half full. If it's not half full, you could have a problem. You may run out of power or something like that. It would be really unlikely for a complete battery drain on a firmware upgrade, but you need to be sure that you are okay. You need to be sure that you're safe and sorry. So we're going to hit upgrade now, and we're going to say yes, we're sure to this. I've tested this with the battery not half full, 25% full, and this device here is protecting itself. It pops up a little menu saying, oh, your battery isn't full, your battery isn't even half full, put in a cable to charge it. So what you would do is you'll just get your cable here that you've got, and you'll basically just plug it in to the bottom of the device, and boom, away you could do your upgrade, because you've got power and it does that. Always make sure you've got power. When it's erasing, when it's writing, these are the most critical parts of the firmware upgrade, and if it's going to go wrong, you absolutely don't want it going wrong during that part. It's erasing now, so everything that was on this device, boom, it is going to be dead, and it's going to reprogram it with a new glorious firmware V1.10, and I can't wait to show you some of the bug fixes they've done here. I won't be able to demonstrate them all because the bugs have actually been fixed, and when you're in that situation you can't, but I can talk about it just a little bit. And you know what, this is absolutely brilliant. You have got a designer that cares for his product, that is actually wanting to support the community. It's not a case of boom, this product is out there, here, have it, how do you like those apples? No, a few changes have been made here, and you know what, they're pleasantly surprising. So hopefully you're all going to enjoy what you've seen. This is how you upgrade the firmware. So we're going to say okay to that. That's done, and then we're going to exit here by clicking on that, and we're going to say yes, we are sure about this. And boom, we are back in the room. We are back in the room. The device is charging there. You can see it's charging here with the battery that you've got here. And it looks pretty much the same, doesn't it? It does look the same. So one of the fixes that has apparently happened now, I didn't notice any problem with it, to be absolutely fair, was the beeper sound. There's been some feedback about the beeper. So, we're just going to play a game and just see how do we feel about it. What does it look like? We're going to play a brief game as well. So we go to the storage, and we're going to scroll all the way down. For those of you that have watched the previous video that I've got, you would have seen this. You would have seen, what was going on here with all my drives that I've set up, A, B, C, D, or all my directories rather than drives. It's because I love the Spectrum and I want to play as many games as I can. Anyway, this sounds okay, but let's have a quick go on this. So enter to start, and we're going to control our little miner Willy, and we're going to collect just 5 keys and complete this screen, and then we will exit the game, because you know what, you don't want to see me playing Manic Miner. This isn't about playing Manic Miner. This is just to listen to the sounds. But as I say, the first time round on the older firmware, I had no problem with the sounds. I absolutely had no problem with the sounds, and for me to have no problem with them. You know, it makes me hard to actually show you this bug, you know, and if it's been fixed anyway, I can't generally show you it, but I wasn't aware there was a problem. Let's get this. Nice double jump and get that one. Yes, yes, yes. And now all we got to do is make it back to the exit. There we go. I'm going to do a nice little jump over you. And there we are. Fundamentally, we have completed this level. So we're going to pop back here. And we're going to go back here. And all this looks the same. You know, we've seen all this. One of the bug fixes I actually did here was this particular game here. The Haunting of Waterbell End. If you go into some games, you've got cancel, start. Start will start the game. Cancel takes you back. Go into here. Start starts the game. Cancel takes you back. Well, this game had an extra button. This game had story. And when you click on it, you've got a little novel that you can read if you choose to. We're going to do back here because we're not going to read that. And that story button, this story button that you see here, stayed on the screen. All that has been fixed and that's gone. But some of you brilliant people might be eagle-eyed viewers. And when I picked the Manic Miner game, you may have spotted something that you thought, hang on a minute. If you own one of these devices, you don't recognise that. Or some of you may have thought, well, hang on a minute, you know, is that new? Is that new? What's there? So let me show you what I think you may or may not have seen. If you go into here, you know, if you look across the top, we've got tape, we've got SNA, we've got TRD, and we've got a new one. Z80, yes, Z80 file format has been put on this device. So we've got a Z80 game here that I've put on Minder. So let's fire that up and that loads. We'll bring up the keyboard and we'll stop that to stop the music. But no, this game now plays Z80 files. So, you know, the designer, he's thought about, you know, how can I make this more accessible for everybody so they don't have to hunt tape files. You know, Z80s were one of the early ones. They were there before tapes. You had like SNA, then you had for snapshot, then you got TAP for tape files. But Z80s came shortly after the SNA files, if my history is correct. But now, if you've got a nice collection of Z80 files, you can play them on here, which is really, really good. So we're going to go back to the folder menu here. Now, obviously, I can't show the bugs that have been fixed. You know, I've said that a couple of times. But if we go into here, say S, one of the problems it had, and let's find one. There we go. So, Saigon Combat Unit, 1989, Premier Software. You can see that some of these names can get very, very long. Well, there was a problem where if you had names over 50 characters, it caused a problem. And this has now been fixed, so you can have long file names, you know, in your directory structure with your games and everything else. So, yeah, that is really, really good to see. But there was another bug within this whole setup. So, you know, I've gone into S here because things like S's, T's, you know, those are the common letters where you have super, special, that kind of thing in front of games. Codemasters, you know, every game they released it, or it felt like it had super in front of it. If it didn't have the word Dizzy in front of it, it was super, super this, super that. And, you know, you get so many of these, you really, really do. But there was a 200 directory limit. So if you're in a setup like I was, where you had all these directories here with games in, you know, if any one of these could be over 200, but, you know, if we go to the S1 here, and that was over 200, I would only see part of this. I would not see it all. But now, this area here, see it says 1 to 6, we can actually go to different pages within the directory, so we can get all the games we want. There's a few super ones. There you go, super, 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 all the supers. But we could go all the way down to the bottom, and we'll eventually get to SZ. So that shows they're all there, and we can navigate around here and move very quickly on where we want to be going. So yeah, that's really, really nice to see. We've got the little dragger here as well, you know, so this moves really quick. This directory browsing is now super, super fast. So, you know, that's very, very good to see as well. And you can also navigate using the joystick if you want. So if you look at the pages here, where it's got 4 or 6, I can go left, I can go right, I can go right again, I can go left, and then I can move up and down the directory as well. So everything has now been made really, really accessible, and you know, that is really, really good to see. And as I say, you know, I can't credit the designer enough. He truly, truly cares for the community in the enhancements that he's done in those little fixes. So yeah, I hope you like the little fixes that we've shown. I really, really do. But there's more. There is more. If you go into a game, for instance, we're going to go into a game here, and you've got these memory save 1, memory save 2, memory save 3, memory call 1, 2, 3. This memory save and recall button, this interface, could come up at the wrong times during this whole experience you've got on the ZX Touch. This has now been fixed, so that won't happen. That's great. There was a problem with the ULA option settings as well. That has now been fixed. Again, I can't demonstrate that because they've been fixed, so you can't do this, but that's been resolved. And the back button as well wasn't always working as you'd expect, so that's been resolved. So yeah, we have had a lot of fixes with this, and version 1.10 of the firmware is absolutely great. And I hope you've enjoyed this little video. So that's not bad for the firmware, all those bug fixes, but this little device is now looking rather spectacular, isn't it? But I've got a secret to share with you. There's more. You have not seen anything yet. Let me explain. This screen is all well and good, this little dashboard you've got here. These games here are what designers have allowed the creator to put on this system, basically copyright free stuff, things that you'll get off itch.io, but they're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. No, some people may have their own wishes, their own visions, their own ones that they would particularly like. Well, let me show you what the secret sauce in this firmware really is. Those bugs have been great. The bugs fixes, the bugs killing have been absolutely brilliant. It shows that the creator is forward thinking and cares about this product, but he really cares about all of you. Let me show you what else this can do. You have seen nothing yet. The bug fixes don't matter compared to the brilliance that we've now got. If we go to external storage here, you can see all these files, in these directories. This is a pain in the neck to navigate. You don't want to be doing that. No. You want them on here. Well, what you can do is if you hold down in a blank space and you do new dashboard. Do you want a new dashboard? Why, sir? Yes, I think I do. So yes for that. And you get a blank dashboard. You've got the original one still there, but you've got this little tab here that now appears. And we can have lots of them, so we can do another new dashboard. Yes, we do. Go back. And look, 0 of 2, 1 of 2, 2 of 2, all the dashboards in the world. We actually only want to add one new one, so let's just delete that dashboard. Yeah, that's gone. So yeah, we've got these two dashboards. And now, this is where the magic really happens. If we go and we pick a game, so we're going to go to external card SD, we are going to go to Minder. Let's load that game in there. Alright, we're going to turn the volume down a little bit on it. There, a little bit there. And that's fine. We're going to go to settings, and we're going to save load, and we're going to save the current game settings, and it saves it to a ZXT configuration file. This is obviously where you set your joysticks. We've shown this on the first video that we did. That's basically nothing new that we've currently got there. And all this looks nice and pretty. So we are going to hit this button here, and we are going to click on Minder again, and we are basically going to go add to library. And look at this. So we have a few options here. We can change the title, so we're going to change the title by hitting 0 to get rid of that a little bit because we don't want all that other stuff there. And we've got a choice from game file or from video memory. Now the game file is the first picture that you can find from the tape, SNA, Z80, whatever it may be. It could be a loading screen, it could be all manner of things. Video memory is a video memory of the current game, so if we toggle this, we're not going to see any difference there. So if I go back into the game and hit enter, so we're on the first screen of the game, and then we go back here, you'll see that the video memory, because this is the game currently playing, has got that screen there. But no, we want it from the tape there. But this gives you options. So if you've got a game that's got a fancy loader, a fast loader, a loader that's non-standard, you can actually go into the game and pause it at the position you want and grab a screen that you want. But this is fine, the game here. But what we could do is, on the game file or the video memory, only these two, you can zoom in. So we can zoom in very, very nicely there. And in Minder, the old TV series with George Cole and Dennis Waterman, this car featured a lot when they were driving from, problem to problem that they were involved in. So, we've zoomed in, got a nice picture there from game file, and we do add game, boom, go here, and it's not there. Of course it's not there because we're going to do a little bit more. We could hold this down, and we can do add game, and we can pick Minder. And look, that is the game we've just created. Click on it. Boom, there we are. It works. It just works. It's phenomenal. This is utter brilliance. This really is. And, I cannot thank the creator enough for adding this. This just adds, all the magic you could ever want. Yes, some games here like this, you've got all this fancy screen, you know, but you know, even with, in fact, let's go back, cancel there. But even with just this, that's enough to give you a nice dashboard. You should all be happy. But wait, there is more. So if we go back here, and we go back here, and we basically we're going to pick one of the games that I've got here. Let's pick Manic Miner, because we like Manic Miner. We're going to hold down on this and we're going to do add to library. Look at this, we've got Manic Miner tape picture there, and this tape picture is basically a file that I have loaded in on the SD card as well, and it's a JPEG file, and here it says T_star JPEG file baseline 144 by 208. Baseline is the format. Do not save them as progressive, save them as baseline, and then we could delete all of that to get rid of that, because I don't want those long names. Let's put the R there, take off cap shift, and we put the R there, and we do add game. So theoretically we can now go back here, actually not go back there, yeah, we go back here, hold down this, add game, and we've got Manic Miner. And look at this, like these guys here, we have now got a cover for Manic Miner. You click on it, and there is Manic Miner. And look at this, I love this. My device is set up so it flashes to the colours of the border. Whatever the border is doing, those are the lights that flash up. So yeah, no, absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But there's still a little bit more to show you, and I'm showing you this stage by stage so to make sure you don't miss anything. If we go back here, and we go back to the external card storage, and what we're going to do, we are going to scroll up here, and we are going to pick, say, I don't know, let's do New Wheels John. So we're going to hold down New Wheels John, and we're going to do add to library. Yeah, 48K computer type, we know that. Perhaps I should have done that on Manic Miner, but it worked anyway on the 128K Spectrum. So we've got the graphic that I've preloaded. Again, the same as the tape file name that I'm loading in star JPEG saved as baseline. But watch. There is more magic. So look at this. Info image L_JPEG, oh sorry, I_JPEG, and the 796 by 600. If we click on that, there, that loads this, and this is an image that I created to put on the system, to load into the system, so that, you know, we can have glorious images like we've got before. The PSD links will be in the description, but you know, the creator has thought of all of this to give us the best system we can and the most customizable system. If I then click on confirm for that, I then do add game, and then we go back, and we're here, we just hold down that, and we do add game, and we add New Wheels John. There is John, New Wheels John. Look at this, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. You know, we can slowly build these desktops, see how we want, and you know, that took us straight into the game. All very good. That took us straight into the game. This one takes us to the dashboard that I've created, and then yes, we could do cancel to go back, or we could do the here, and we could do start, and it loads in, and the game is loading in. So, you know, what could I say? You know, this version 1.10 of the software has absolutely hit it out of the park. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yes, we've got all the bug fixes, but on top of that, you can now start building the ZX Touch exactly how you've wanted it. And you know, I could not be happier with this version of the software. You know, I will just add one more game just to show you how brilliant this is, and you know, you can imagine what a whole sheet of these is going to look like by the time you've got it done. So let's hold down this one, do add to library, and yes, 48K, we know that. Oh, and we want the info image as well. Do confirm on here, add game, go back. You know, it takes a little bit of work to create your own background images if you're like me and you've got OCD and you want everything, you know, but it's absolutely worth it. And that's there as well. That's using the right cover art as well from the disc, from the tape rather. And yes, you know, even if you haven't got all the art, you can use the pictures that you've got here. So everything has been thought of. Go to Maze Def Rally X, start here, and there we are, loading in. This is a version from Midnight Brew, which was an enhanced version from Tim Dolby, who created the original. But Cancel there. Yeah, this is the ZX Touch. This is the best Spectrum handhold that I've ever played. It gives me so much pleasure, and now with version V1.10 of the software, it hits it out of the park. So the creator, thank you very much. Thank you for all your hard work. Honestly, it is truly appreciated.